Thank you very much for that word. Please, you may be speaking.
As you are aware, the 26th of January of every year is celebrated by customs the world over to mark the date of the inauguration of the Customs Cooperation Council, now referred to as the World Customs Organization. Traditionally, today provides the opportunity for us as customs to reflect on the conditions and environment within which customs officers perform their statutory responsibilities, the challenges, relationship with stakeholders and other government agencies, and the need to meet the challenges of international trade network. It is also a day that deserving individuals and groups are recognized for their exemplary contribution towards partnering with customs in achieving this mandate in enhancing effective border management in line with the theme of this celebration. This year's celebration with the theme Scaling Up Customs Digital Transformation by Embracing a Data Culture and Building a Data Ecosystem was eruditely chosen by the WCO to accentuate customs progress on digital transformation through the entrenchment of data-based culture and knowledge-driven data ecosystem. The theme is established on three pillars, namely, building a custom data ecosystem based on trust, embracing a data culture by bridging the human resource gap, and fostering a collaborative culture among customs administrations. The need for a custom data ecosystem to build on trust recognizes the extensive volume of the data we collect on actors in the international trade chain, including the citizen, government, agencies, local and transnational companies. This information is also useful in formulating strategies, enhancing the fight against fraud, and the collection of revenue, as well as optimizing the allocation of resources in a way that enhances customs performance. Therefore, it must be guided by a formal data governance standards, use of appropriate management and progressive approaches, such as data analytics to collect and successfully exploit data to drive decision-making process. An effective custom data ecosystem will enable the institutionalization of the data culture, empowering people to ask questions, challenge ideas, rely on concrete insights in decision-making. Another notable recommendation by the WCO in this regard emphasizes the need to promote data literacy among customs personnel and equip them with the ability to interpret, analyze data accurately. With this in place, the complication in collaborative engagement with other agencies on data exchange will be less complex and concomitantly increase the role and visibility of customs. Bearing this in mind, it is important to reflect on the milestone recorded by Nigerian Customs Service within the theme of this year's celebration. It begins with acknowledging and appreciating the fundamental effort made to implement our legacy system, the Nigerian Integrated Customs Information System, (NICIS), the advancement of NICIS 2 platform. The platform serves as a basis upon which NCS pursues digital transformation and building a data ecosystem became possible. It has enabled the NCS recent digitization and digitalization process, particularly in our administrative, human resources management, and trust processes. NASIS 2 is also the pillar on which the existing digital collaboration with other government agencies and the engagement of NCS within the global custom community is established. The outcome of this is obvious in the growth in our capacity to facilitate more trade transactions, which peaked at 858,843 transactions in 2021. This translates to 17.26% increase in the volume of transactions handled in the year 2020. Another patent result of our effort in this regard is in our landmark revenue collection of 2.28 trillion in 2021. All this would not have been possible without digital transformation and scaling up the use of data. One other noteworthy areas to mention within the theme of this year's celebration includes one, NACI's support, NCS support of the WCO exploratory studies on fragile borders and illicit financial flows using custom data alongside open source data between 2017 and 2019. NCS commitment and support of the WCO ban of custom data and analyst Bakuda project that has led to several pioneering results, including the development of a dual attentive 3-hour embedded, it's called DATE, model to assist customs administration to better detect transactions presenting risks of fraud in 2020. C. NCS support as the prime custom administration in the accomplishment of 2 pilot test exercises in 2020 and 2021 under the Bakuda project. Outcome of this involvement can further be seen in the revolutionary activities carried out recently in the Nigerian Customs Service 5-year report for the year 2015 to 2019. Trained officers were given the opportunity to apply acquired skills to understanding and analyzing NCS performance with a combination of customs data and open source data using analytic tools. More so, necessary procedures have been completed and approvals granted to achieve the Nigerian Customs Service Data Fusion Center, a new unit that will be responsible to drive the institutionalization of data culture in NCS. Most significantly, in relation to this year's theme, NCS is in the process of implementing the e-custom project that will ensure digitization and digitalization of NCS procedures. In the midst of all these positives, NCS also had to overcome significant challenges. This ranges from press criticism, attempts by hackers to compromise the integrity of our IT system, and attacks from armed smugglers, where some of our officers had to pay the supreme price. May we please, at this juncture, honor these departed officers. May I crave your indulgence to please rise for 1 minute silence. May their soul rest in perfect peace. Please take your seats. With this, I want to conclude by appreciating the entire members of the Nigerian Customs Service for their commitment in the year 2021 and urge that what we have been able to achieve in 2021 can be built upon. Let us not rest on our hours because we have the chance to make a better Nigeria by contributing our quota. So I ask all officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service to pull up their sleeves and ensure that 2022 is better than 2021 in everything we do: revenue collection, enforcement, and ensuring the protection of the society. May God continue to guide and protect us. May God help us through the year and through many, many more years to come. Thank you.
Today, WCO, the Secretariat, and the Global Customs partners have a unique opportunity to reflect the past particular theme in mind. Every year, the WCO Secretariat introduces the most relevant theme for the customs community. In 2022, the focus will be on digital data that customs administration collects in large volume through digital technology. It will be scaling up customs digital transformation by embracing a data culture and building a data ecosystem. Throughout this year, under this slogan, the customs community will be focusing on how to create an operating model in a fully digitized environment that captures and over the years, digital technology has evolved rapidly and customs can now access data from other government agencies, open source information platforms, and other sources. This is in addition to a huge amount of data on cross-border transactions and seizure data that customs collects from traders and from its own enforcement activities. To build a data ecosystem or consolidate existing ones, the following enabling actions may be considered. Establishing formal data governance to ensure the relevance, accuracy, and timeliness of data. Making use of international standards regarding data format and data exchange. Ensuring that the right people have access to the right data and that data protection regulations are respected, and adopting progressive approaches such as data analytics to collect and successfully exploit data to drive decision-making. A robust data culture empowers people to ask questions, challenges ideas, and rely on detailed insights, not just intuition or instinct, to make evidence-based decisions. In order to nurture a data-driven culture, administrations need to enhance the data literacy of their staff. In other words, their ability to interpret and analyze data accurately. Customer administrations should integrate data science into their curriculums for newly recruited officers and offer courses to familiarize customs officers with the collection and analysis of data. Staff also need to understand the bigger picture on revenue, trade, and security with the help of data analysis. Customer administrations are also invited to make data available to the public and academia as a means of enhancing transparency, stimulating the production of knowledge, and enabling dialogue with civil society. Sharing data analysis with other government agencies increase the role and visibility of customs in policymaking and in obtaining necessary resources, including donor funding. Disseminating customs data and information in society is part of government's response to the general demand for open governance. To support customs administration, WCO Secretariat has placed data-related topics on the agenda of several committees and working groups, organized awareness-raising seminars, developed e-learning modules, designed the capacity-building framework for data analytics, and issued practical publications and articles. Moreover, a community of experts has been established under the name of BACUDA, Band of Customs Data Analysts, which brings together customs and data scientists with the objective of developing data analytics methodologies. More measures will be presented in the WCO data strategy that the WCO Secretariat is currently working on. The ambition will be to make data a common language among customs administrations and between the WCO Secretariat and WCO members. The road ahead is not an easy one. There will be inevitably challenges along the way. But as we have learned during the COVID-19 pandemic, the customs community is united, stronger, and more resilient in the face of adversity. Thank you.
The COVID-19 pandemic has also shown the importance of the integration of mutual innovation and technological concepts into custom operations. This includes all digital and paperless clearance methods and use of technology to implement effective control for facilitating, enhancing, and accelerating processes.
Nigerian Customs Service introduced the e-payment, which you all testify to the fact that when this administration of General Buhari came on board and institutionalized TSA, already way back as far as 2008, our form of payment was electronic. By 2009, non-intrusive technology was introduced in our operations. PA, which is a landmark today in custom operation, which is purely indigenous, was introduced in 2013. This was service that was provided by service providers before, and NCA sat down and rolled out that pre-arrival assessment report. In 2014, Trade Information Portal was introduced that was worldwide acknowledged and even recommended highly by WCO. By 2013, NISIS 2 was rolled out, and it may also interest you further that in order to enhance transparency and integrity, the CGC introduced e-auction, whereby the service discarded the use of paper allocation. Every Nigerian that is interested, you go to the portal, you bid, and if you are successful, you carry whatever you bid for. And by 2019, e-recruitment was equally introduced for our cadets currently that are on training. Then by 2020, IDEC was also introduced into our portal, and virtual meeting. It may interest you to know that the virtual meeting was adopted by Nigerian Customs Service long before the Federal Executive Council even institutionalized it in Nigeria. And as I'm speaking to you now, all our area controllers, zonal coordinators, and our attaché in Brussels, Belgium, Brussels, have joined us virtually now and sharing with us this golden moment. Furthermore, Sigma project, which is an initiative of ECOWAS, that will facilitate integration of all member nations, have been rolled out. And I will personally want to thank the CGC because currently 6 of our officers are undergoing 8 weeks training in ECOWAS Computer Center in Lomé, Togo. Human resource management was rolled out. Our normal paper annual emolument has been phased out. What we have today is e-emolument. Also, VIM valuation, electronic VIM valuation was introduced. Smart Fast Track was introduced. NCA webmail was equally introduced, and web tracker. To further hit the nail, hopefully, God willing, this 2022, the e-custom project that will automate all our processes and procedures will be rolled out, that will transform all our operations. On all these strides, I'm happy to say all this went unnoticed because based on this digital transformation, we received series of awards. We also received NIDA award as runner for the best military department and agency, best e-governance award, the most dynamic and innovative federal agency. This is just summary of our awards so far. Internally, we are updating ourselves so that by the time we roll out the e-custom, we are fully prepared. The dynamic and prestigious training on digital strategy at Harvard University, change management, digital governance, risk management, artificial intelligence, planning, Internet of Things, applications, cybersecurity, machine learning, and big data tools and technology. Internally, we are updating ourselves so that by the time we roll out the e-custom, we are fully prepared. Due to the importance of the technology to the World Customs Organization, this year's conference and exhibition will be held in Netherlands from the 18th to 20th October 2021. with the theme Driving Custom Performance with Data Technology in Changing the Landscape of Global Trade. And based on this theme, we just received a letter from WCO, who are very much interested in our e-custom project, and they are requesting equally for our input. This conference is aimed at exploring technology-supported solutions, enabling customs to operate in a fully digital environment, and creating an operating model and exploiting data across the data ecosystem. The sustained excellent performance, effectiveness, and total dedication to the mandate of the service as reflected in the recurring innovation. We are equally challenged by the CGC that the success is a journey and not a destination. Hence, regardless of the great feat achieved in the previous years, more is still expected, especially from ICT and modernization. We assure the CGC and the management that we will continue to maintain the tempo as we strive to introduce more innovations to the service. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes.
What is the latest on the arms that was in December? The arms that were seized at the port in December. We heard investigations are going on. Please, would like to know what's the update on that, sir. Thank you very much.
As you know, whenever we do intercept items like this where there are suspects, the first step is to ensure proper investigation. The second phase of the procedure is to now charge the suspect to court, and then the court will further be determinant of the outcome of the case. As it is today, the case has been investigated. We are before the court, and it is our hope that we'll pursue it until we get judgment. If you are interested, you can always I can't remember the exact court in Lagos, but it's being processed in Lagos. You get in touch with our legal departments, you'll be told exactly which court it is, and then you can follow the trial. With regards to the second question, as to first and foremost, let me correct this impression. The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has not given us a 4.1 trillion target. The target given to us by government is 3.1 trillion. So let's correct that. That is what is given to us by government. And the question is, are we changing our focus from trade facilitation to revenue generation? The answer is no. The two goes hand in hand. We are today, by virtue of what we collect, a major contributor to the economic development of this country. Secondly, you cannot do trade facilitation without generating revenue. And therefore, the two are intertwined. And we read them this way: trade facilitation, revenue generation, and protection of the society. That is the mandate given to us. Each one of these three is very important to Nigerian Customs Service. And therefore, there is no time we put one over the other. We must do the three consecutively to be able to achieve our set goals. We never rate one above the other because they go hand in hand. Through the Ministry of Finance, we have been able to acquire three multi-dimensional scanners, and they have currently been deployed in Apapa, Tinkan, and One port. This is an update with regards to our digitalization. We recognize that we cannot facilitate trade doing manual examination. It's almost impossible. And therefore, the best thing is that if you listen carefully to the presentation of the ACG, ICT and modernization, he made mention of the introduction of non-intrusive equipment for facilitating trade. In the course of the journey, we had some challenges, and therefore those non-intrusive equipment were discarded. But now we have to reintroduce them. And the Ministry of Finance is gracious enough to, in the interim, acquire these 3 major scanners. They are multidimensional and they detect both organic and inorganic substance. They have been deployed, they will soon be put into use, and that will increase our pace of examination of containers and any other goods. And going forward, the e-custom that we are hopefully going to launch this year will provide 135 scanners in all our borders, which that means airports, seaports, land borders will have effective and very adequate scanners for us to be able to do our own, carry on our own trade facilitation and inspection of goods. So it's our hope that in the next 2 years, there will be no entrance or exit that will not have scanners for the purpose of our examination. So if you follow, very soon I'm sure, we will be launching the 3 scanners. So those of you who are interested, keep your ears open. We'll announce a date, and then those scanners will be launched in Lagos by the Ministry of Finance, and that will give the go ahead for us to start using scanners. And as well as I'm sure some of you knows exactly what scanners are. This scanner has the capacity to scan 20 containers in 1 hour. Which then means that if we work 24 hours, you multiply that by 24 hours, you'll see the number of containers that will be scanned, and it will store the images for analysis, and then as SGDs comes forward, those images will be called forward, analysis will be done, and then the process of exiting the containers will carry on. So this is what is going to happen, and as more scanners comes in, the more we deploy them, the better will be our service. Thank you.